Good evening and thank you for joining us today on the Evening Rush. This is 9 minutes gone past the hour of 7 o'clock. My name is Esther Wachuku, and this obviously is a very beautiful moment to be with you, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Today is the 25th of June 2025. The year is gradually actually running out, and I must tell you that Nigeria has gone through a lot in this first 6 months of 2025. The challenging time is still very on. But I love my people. We are strong, we're dedicated, we're resilient, and we know how to cope. We modify ourselves to whatever condition that comes across us. We try to stay afloat. My political science teacher told me, I think that was in year one, he told us in class, he said that Nigerians are the best people to govern. Just give them the basic things, and trust me, you will have a thriving economy because they modify, they adjust, they find a way of existing. So why wouldn't you be happy to govern a set of people that are so industrious, they're so hardworking, very creative, they know how to take advantage of any circumstance that they find themselves. And that's why whenever they go out of this country, they thrive, especially those who do things legitimately, they thrive. They look like the best amongst their peers. In fact, those who are resident in those countries look at them like they have some juju or magical powers. No, it's just that you cannot come from this country, and after all the roughages you've gone through, with that roughages, when you travel outside the country, you seem like somebody who is exceptional. So if you have such a set of persons that you govern and you don't take advantage of that quality, then what are you doing? All right, welcome to the Evening Rush. My name is Esther Machuku. This is obviously an audiovisual program. You can join us on social media, that is on YouTube. We stream most of our content live. So go onto your YouTube channel, type at VOP903FM, and then you'll see us there live. On the Evening Rush, we look at topical issues across Nigeria's socio-economic and political landscape. These are the issues that form the conversation across the fora, across several platforms. Yes, we delve into it. We have analysts who actually give us their perspective to this issues, and not just giving us their perspective, they give us recommendation, and after doing that we get to hear your reaction and also your own criticism. Today is going to be quite a package. We're going to have Barrister Eze Eluche, who will join us via the telephone. He'll be coming from the legal angle, and I also have Dr. Dayo. Dr. Dayo is a social and political affairs commentator. He's also a philosopher, a historian, and he will be giving us his own insight into some of the issues we'll be discussing. First of all, one very interesting thing to note is that insecurity, being the front burner, is what is generating quite the conversation. And I must let you know something, that it hasn't abated. The fallout of the Bainway situation is ongoing, and then these elements have not gotten scared. They're now coming out brazenly on social media to express their disdain and boast about what they're capable of doing. We're hoping that our security agencies will track these individuals and find out where they are. Now, just today, the Nigerian army confirmed that several of its soldiers lost their lives when armed terrorists attacked forward operating bases in the general areas of Kwanaru Duse, Meriga, and Boka in Niger State, and Guan Tura Ichikun local government area of Kaduna State. Now, according to the army statement, the attacks occurred on Tuesday, the 24th of June, just yesterday. Now, following the attack by the terrorists, I don't know why a couple of people still call them bandits. I don't know. A lot of lives have been lost, and you still call these elements bandits. The court has proscribed them. Any person wielding arms, constituting mayhem, nuisance, killing people, evading the law, also ensuring that people are ruffled out of their communities, they are terrorists. Marauders are called terrorists. So I don't understand why some of our news outlets call them bandits. I don't know why you're trying to soften the hard blow of this nefarious elements from the pit of hell. Well, following the attack by the bandits, the Nigerian army launched several counterattacks, including land and air responses, which led to the death of scores of terrorists in the fierce battle. Unfortunately, apart from the soldiers who lost their lives, 4 other soldiers were also wounded in battle and are receiving treatment for gunshot wounds. Development on that is still ongoing. You also recall that during the world news at 6, you must have heard us, where the Nigerian military also disclosed to us that they did not get any leaked memo, and that the media that actually brought out that leaked memo should show them where precisely they said that they got an information. The chief of army staff said they always get information about these things, but sometimes it could be false alarm, and that they work on it and it turns out that maybe it's not true. But the situation in Benue, apparently the Nigerian army was pre-informed. They were not just decisive in being judicious in carrying out their activity to protect. Some other persons believe that they tried their best, but the men on ground were not enough to fight off these individuals because they came in droves, they came in their numbers. So the Nigerian army, who spoke on receiving intelligence concerning the Benue attack, said that they should bring proof. He said, bring proof. The purported media report referencing the leak, the Department of State Services, the DSS, and Major General Moses Gada, commander of Operation Wildstroke, described the claims as false, misleading, and a form of cyberbullying intended to discredit the military. Well, let me just introduce my guest analyst this evening. I have Dr. Kayode Adedayo. Good evening, sir. How are you? Hello?
How are you today?
Good evening, doctor. How are you, sir?
Nice being on your program.
Can you put on your camera, please, so we can see you?
Shebi is radio.
Yes, but I would like to see your face. We have our online listeners, our online viewers who would love to watch you as well.
Then okay, let me get ready for the camera there because I wasn't ready to find it. Let the person come and deny it. Then we know that yes, truly they were not alerted. Even at that, in that state, don't we have military formation? We have a military formation. So what is the military formation doing there without getting necessary information as regards the security activities in that particular state? So I mean, we have just been deceiving ourselves. The issue is this: it has been said, the politicians have said it, that the leaders in this country, they know about all these insecurity palaver that we have been facing. No doubt about that. They know about it. So what are you talking about? Something needs to be done. Okay, look at the president. You went to that place. Only God knows what you are going to do. Instead of you to be commiserating with those people, you line up all those children up in the rain, waiting for you. Those people that are mourning, instead of you to mourn with them, to go to that place with black dresses, but you went there as if nothing has happened. Well, thank God it was being treated that way. I mean, and I think you also heard what happened in Kaduna today. That's to tell you that people are tired of it. We need security in this country. Well, I mean, the first major assignment, according to the Constitution, is that there must be, the president must ensure meaningful livelihood and security of the people. Those are the simple essence of governance. So what are you doing? I beg.
Dr. Dyer, are you there?
Are we too?
All right. So, for example, based on military intelligence from the DSS, they always get intelligence reports. Dr. Dyer, I recall when the Northeast was going through the, the decimation and decapitation of the terrorists, specifically Boko Haram, before we now have Lakrowa and Mahmuda. We're now having different insurgent group coming up from that axis. There were times we will hear the community members cry out that before their land or community were invaded by these nefarious elements from the pit of hell, that they usually give them a notification. The Nigerian army is actually being notified sometimes a week or 2 weeks prior before they come and embark on their dastardly attack, but that nothing happens. So the question is, if the DSS is saying that bring us proof that we actually got a report, or that there is a leaked memo, that an intelligence report of these elements in surrounding communities gathering and waiting to execute the coordinated attack, because everybody who actually gave a description of how the attack took place, they all said it was a methodological attack. The process, the precision, the coordination, it was coordinated by it seemed like a militia group of persons conducted that attack. So it was being strategic and they had planned, meaning that these individuals had actually gone through that particular axis, monitored the trail and the terrain to coordinate that kind of attack. So the DSS is telling us that the Nigerian army is telling us that they did not get any intelligence report disputing the claim of any leaked memo. So if that is the case, then who is responsible for their intelligence gathering? Are they saying that whenever any mayhem is meant to be executed in any of this community, they don't have any prior information at all? So none of that, they would actually generalize it to be a coincidence of what transpired in Yawata.
Even my own question is this. What are the responsibilities of the military to the people? The responsibility has to do with saving lives, ensuring safety of the people, safeguarding our territorial integrity. And if you are going to do that, are you not supposed to have a surveillance department, which I'm sure they have? Are you not supposed to be using that surveillance department to be gathering information as regards security breaches within the territorial integrity of Nigeria, which I'm sure we have? There is also, to the best of my knowledge, communication department within the military, of which if anything is being seen as a security breach, you are supposed to communicate to the people.
All right, Dr. Dyer, have you gone far from your phone? Are you trying to set up yourself so we can see you? Are you not done?
No, I'm not far from my phone.
Okay.
The security of the people.
But can you put on your camera?
You just want to see my face.
No, but you're actually transmitting online, so we need to see, because it's just K that is showing. Exactly. Thank you very much.
That's fine.
Thank you very much. Yes, continue, sir.
Now, the communication department is supposed to communicate whatever might have been detected by the strategic department, surveillance department. So what have they been doing? Where are they being paid with our tax, the taxes that we pay the government? Why are they receiving their salaries from it?
All right.
Okay, where are all the monies being borrowed to ensure security? Where are all those monies being given by international community to also ensure security?
Yeah.
These are issues.
All
yes,
right.
DSS too, they have their role to play, but they have their role to play. Why are you saying you don't have? Well, the question is this. The question is this. The Yorubas.
Okay.
We are not economical by words. We bring our words together properly.
Okay.
And our elders will now say, that is, if there is no crack in the wall, there is no way a lizard will enter there. Okay, these are people that have been arrested before now. And you are telling me that you are bringing them back to the society, that they are repentant terrorists. So, and you are bringing them back to the society. What do you expect? Who do you think they be loyal to? We heard about that governor in the southeast that was crying that he arrested some bandits. And before you know it, they were being released, even with their arms and ammunition. So, to a very large extent, for me, I'm in support of those people that have been saying that even government itself, our leaders, they are involved in all these things. They are purposefully doing it so that they can have unfettered access.
All right. So, to the property where he said is his brother's property, it was demolished. During the World News at 6, we played his reaction to it, and the legal practitioner, there's a legal representative of that property and that of his brother, also spoke about it. Now, a lot of attribution have come on that particular situation. They have made some political inclination, saying because he's an opposition, maybe it's the government of the day, but it's an individual who, like, it's a private dispute anyway. So I don't know how the federal government or the state government comes into this. But Sahara reporters decided to do a throwback. They said Peter Obi in 2013 personally supervised the demolition of Upper Class Hotel, a 3-story building located at 8. You see this?
Well, thank you very much. These are somehow legal matters, so one has to be a bit careful and be sure that you are aware of the entire facts before making comments one way or the other. From what I've gathered so far, the issue was in court. There was a court order which gave somebody possession of the place. Although the case was against persons unknown, which is rather odd because that place was occupied by somebody and there was a company there. So the issue is for the lawyers in this matter to actually decipher through the matters and be sure it is brother's property. If you remember, he said
they had not responded. Maybe then they got this court order for the demolition of the property. So if, according to how Peter Obi expressed himself with a lawyer who represents the case, he said yes, they hadn't served because they got the notification on Friday. Today is Wednesday, so you have it, possibly they were able to file it on Monday. And while the case is in court, or while the back and forth is ongoing, you have demolished the property.
That's a very crazy kind of law. That once you are found guilty, because you have a situation whereby many government agencies don't even have offices. So if a house has been, rather than demolish a house that was used for criminal purposes, government can acquire that house and deploy it to other uses. So the whole idea of demolishing houses like Mr. Peter was doing in
terms of how this matter was presented, he did not properly present it with the way he came out to cry out, because already he had complained that his personal business, had been attacked by the government of the day to either financially truncate him or possibly demobilize him from having any form of influence whatsoever as the election was coming close.
Everything has been ascertained, then he can now make his own comments. Yes, so I hope that his handlers, both his legal team and his PR, subsequent instances, they will be able to now help address
history of that particular property, that this case has been ongoing, because even when he came out to make that statement, we thought it was just like he was served a court paper. Before they even tried to respond, they had already gone to get excavator and whatever to demolish the building. That was how the whole thing was perceived to be as, until questions were now asked. What happened? So persons were even calling on the state government to please come in. Now, regardless of the fact that this is an opposition, the governor could have tried to intervene or something. But I think, everybody was like, wait and let us see what this means. So if the brother or whoever it was could not speak, could it be the way the information was passed on to him? Because he said it was on
the past issues of lawlessness by the judiciary at the federal level. So all I will advise is subsequently from now, there should be more caution so that when pronouncements are made from the person of Mr. Peter B, that is very, very unequivocal and based on well-researched and factual information.
All right, Barrister Eluche, thank you so much. Please stay on the line. Dr. Kaide Adedayo, I'm coming back to you.
Yes, I'm there with you.
Yes, thank you very much. Dr. Kaide, just this afternoon, all right, over. We're not yet in 2027. We're not yet in 2027. But with how this thing has become an action, on a daily basis, do you see this as an absolute political machination by certain
be seen as an accomplice? And I will explain. Look at that your studio. Look at that your studio.
Yeah.
If somebody is coming in there to cause trouble, there is peace. I've known that your studio to exude a lot of peace and the sanity.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden all of a sudden, you start to experience the other side of what you're experiencing now. For the first day, second day, third day, first week, second week, third week, and nothing is done. I mean, they don't need to look at you. Let us go and sack the management. Let us go and sack the management. Why the management has not been able to cope it? So, the third aspect I'm saying is there is a theory again of complicity of the government.
Interesting.
Complicity of the government.
All right, thank you.
Until when all those three are being looked at properly, we will resolve it. And in addition, when government is also not serious
about it,
regards giving punitive measures to whoever is being caught or to whoever is showing signs of dereliction in his or her duty, we will still be experiencing this because it is also a show, exhibition of complicity.
All right, Dr. Kaidi Adidaya, thank you. Please stay on the line. Barrister Eze Eluchi, let's come on to the recent spate of insecurity. I'm sure you heard the question I asked Dr. Adidaya, but there's also another angle to this, Barrister Eze. Nigerians are of the notion that for this to have escalated to this point or degenerated to this point, that it feels that we don't know how to handle this, or like the government of the day is afraid of these guys, that there is a huge, more than 75 complicity of the government of the day on insecurity bedeviling Nigeria. Now, if you remember when the president visited Benue, he asked the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, why haven't you made any arrests? It was said in a jovial manner, though. He said, by now, before I visited the state, you ought to have arrested persons. And Christopher Musa said they would shortly do so before he organized a press conference where he disclosed that community members protect these individuals. That's what he said, that the community are also part of this melee concerning insecurity. While the defense headquarters is set to host 53 chiefs of defense staff from 53 African countries, which includes Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger Republic, for the maiden African Chiefs of Defense Staff Summit in Abuja. The summit, which will encourage Africa-led solutions to the continent's security challenges, will be held from August 25 to 27 in Abuja. Now, Nigerians have reacted to this. Why waste that money to conduct this conference where you can possibly have a virtual security meeting or something immediate? Obviously, they want to make it a trans-border fight. You know, he had complained about the pressure in the Sahelian region, and that once those countries collapse, then Nigeria is the next target because we have a fertile soil. Barrister Eze Eluchi, with the resurgence in insecurity across all the entire regions, not just specific regions, it's everywhere now, Barrister. You know, sometimes when you're traveling to the east, I'm always afraid because you tell me you drive. I'm always afraid for you. What is going on? What is the problem?
Well, thank you very much.
Yes.
The reality is that the Bola Tinubu regime came into governance with a very myopic idea about governance and security. If you recollect, at various times, even till now, the primary security agencies, rather than maybe go for the best or whatever, Mr. Tinubu opted to select people from his ethnic bloc. The AGF police, the chief of army staff, virtually all the armed forces, all the armed services. I mean, of course, you don't rate the Air Force or the Navy in Nigeria because those ones are virtually absent. But the army, the police, the DSS, the EFCC, the immigration, just keep on rolling them out. Tinubu opted to bring people from his own ethnic group. When the former chief of army staff died, he brought another Yoruba man to be there. I mean, people begin to wonder, is there any sign of competence in these appointments? Were they the best for the job? Now you go to Benue and you put the chief of defense staff on the...
Hold on, I need to get clarity on what you're saying. You're referring to the former chief of army staff that passed on in the helicopter crash, isn't it?
No, not that one.
Which one?
No, not the one that passed on in the helicopter crash.
Which one?
Tinubu had a first chief of army staff who was Yoruba, and I think he died of cancer or something.
Oh,
and then this other one was,
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, well, yes, whatever his name is. So this one now came and replaced him. I mean, and you have a figurehead, because the chief of defense staff does not command any troops.
Okay.
He commands nothing. He doesn't command jack, because he only talks to the chiefs of these various services. But he does not have any troop under him. So what are you asking him to make arrest for? Is he going to make arrest? So all those comments Tinubu made in Benin was just pedestrian. And he knew it. You don't come in public and begin to ask the chief of defense staff, why have you not made any arrest? Before he came to that Benin, there must have been some security briefing. And he knew what was on the ground. So coming on air to ask, why have you not made an arrest? Arrest who? Is he the one to arrest? Is he the police? Is he the army? He's just the chief of defense staff. And the man was just, his response was just blabbing, because he's neither here nor there. But the reality is this government has not shown any interest in security issues. Rather, the government has been focused on economic, all the possible profiteering motives, finance, taxation. That's what this government is focused on. And almost zero to security. That is why ever since this regime has come in, there's been one massacre or the other, from Kebbi, Zamfara, Benue, Imo, Enugu, just massacre and no response. The only reason why I believe Mr. Tinubu responded and visited Yelatewa was because the Pope talked about it. Otherwise, what is his business there? He's not shown any interest.
So you're saying if the Pope had not spoken, he wouldn't have visited that state?
Yeah, I assure you, because the reason is this. Before several other massacres has occurred, and what did Tinubu ever bother to go anywhere? He only came because he knew that the Pope had spoken. And other ones will happen and nothing will come from him. And he was going there more like a campaign blitz. He was unserious. And the irony is that even the headsmen militia know he was not serious. And the response that the chief of defense staff gave was that yes, some community members harbor these people, which is absolute nonsense. Because when you harbor these killers, when they come on this rampage to kill everybody, do you know whether they'll kill you? Because they do these killings in the night. Now it even makes things worse when the DSS now tells us that yes, they had even informed the army that this thing will happen in Yelawata, and then there was nothing done. And then the joke of hosting the chief of defense staff of Africa is it just shows how unserious these characters are. And in fact, if the African Union was even serious, they will know that one place to have such a meeting is certainly not Nigeria, because there has been laxity in security. And they have to be worried about where they will even stay when they come, because there's literally no place that is safe for them. So, I mean, this government has not, in fact, jokingly, if you recollect, during the campaign, when they were campaigning for elections, Kashim Shettima had claimed that he will be in charge of security and Tinubu will be in charge of economics. And perhaps because they have sidelined Shettima from this government, there is zero focus on security.
You think Shettima has been sidelined? You think Shettima has been sidelined from this government?
I'm not saying I think. Shettima has totally 100% been sidelined, and we saw what transpired when the APC met in the northeast, how they were almost mobbed when they got there. Yes, so there is it's not I think. The reality is that Shettima has been sidelined. And this was a man who claimed he would be charged of security. So perhaps that is why there's absolutely nothing going on security. Now, when we talk about individuals, you're not going to be afraid of you. Like we have an Igbo saying that, a jog. We do not, because of fear of death, say we will not go and fight. Will you, because of likelihood of death, not move or go to eat? Come on. If it happens, it happens. But the reality is this. Those who are in charge of security have proved abysmally inept. And in there with government, because you don't even know where to start from. Even the government
so why is the president? Why does he have this disposition of nonchalancy? I don't want to say he's not concerned, because any decisive leader will literally replace all the service chiefs, both the chief of defense staff, chief of army staff, IGP, all of them. You will replace them immediately because you have continued to see unabated insecurity take over. This is one of the things affecting this administration. Not just insecurity, poverty. Barrister Eze Eluche, people are hungry.
Yes.
Hungry. Very, very hungry, Barrister. There are no jobs.
Yes.
People are literally trying to cope and survive. Yeah. We're not even talking about children going to school and all whatnot. Food is expensive.
The issue is not in
sacking
everybody.
It's inexpensive. Yeah, that we do.
If you sack, what are you going to bring back? So it's not a matter of issue. The reality is that this government is bereft of ideas. It's clueless.
But the government says they have the ideas.
Everything. Yes.
The government says they have the ideas.
Like listen, please. What was the response towards insecurity? It was now to give the generals billions of naira as pension, promise them bulletproof jets. That is silly. Absolutely silly. Because what it now means, the young soldiers on the field who will maybe even die on the queue waiting for their pension will feel nonchalant. If the generals are taking all the rewards, why would they have to go and risk their lives? So even the very little the government has done with regards to security by pumping in money for pension of the generals is stupid, because it makes the soldiers not willing to even devote or focus their efforts. So the government is bereft of governance skills. All this government has been thinking of is, how do we increase tax? How do we collect more money for ourselves? How do we make more money individually for their pockets? Why would Mr. Tinubu be bothered about security when he has about 100 or 200 soldiers guarding him? He doesn't give a damn. And this is not just now that he became president. If you recollect, when the daughter of Olufolai was killed by headsmen a few years ago, his response was, did you see the cows? And he even went further to link that killing to that, the Igbos who were in that area.
That's true.
I mean, that was his response. He asked, did you see the cows? How dense can such an answer come from a political leader? And that is still the same mannerism which he's having till today. He's still trying to give excuses. He's still trying to accommodate killers. If you saw what happened in Benue State, they were macheting 4 families. And rather than come out as a leader and condemn evil, he was busy talking that they should accommodate. I don't blame him. That was the same kind of stupid comments that Muhammad Buhari was making through his press secretary additional, when he asked people that what do they prefer? Well, will they rather lose their life or give land? So these people are just the same kind of characters. Heartless. Quite unfortunate.
All right, Barrister Eluche, please stay on the line. Dr. Kaide, you wanted to say something as regards to when I said people are really hungry, that there's literal hunger in the land. You wanted to say something in response to that. Dr. Kaide, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dr. Kaide?
Yes.
Yes,
Mary.
You wanted to say something while Barrister was when I was asking a question about how hungry people are.
Yes. Are people not hungry?
People are hungry. There's serious hunger in the land.
And you see, the irony of it is that an hungry stomach has no ears. An hungry stomach has no ears. At a point in time, that hunger will turn into anger. And when it turns into anger, I'm telling you, this government will not be able to handle it. Look at tubers of yam. A tuber of yam now costs about 3,000 naira plus. You cannot buy tomato, pepper, and all that again. Now, when all these things are happening, tell me, what happens to the young children? And you know what that means? When your children in the house are hungry and they are crying, it angers the parents. It angers the parents. And what do you expect the parents to do? And when it's not happening to everybody on the street, do you think they will sit down at home? That's an aspect too. Look at the soldiers we are talking about. See how much money they are put into the pockets of the senior military men regarding their salaries, the perks of office, their retirement benefits, and all that. But what is happening to those ones fighting in the war front? Do you think there will be dedication? Even we are talking about intelligence gathering. Do you think they will gather intelligence where they're supposed to gather intelligence? Even sometimes when they see something, they will push their eyes away. I said, let the wars happen. These are issues. These are issues. The one Barrister was saying. I wrote it in my article now. It's in one of my articles. Idiocy of governance. I mean, idiocy of the government. As regards hunger in the land vis-a-vis our exchange rates. I call it idiocy of government. Because as it is now, this government thinks of nothing. Even from the beginning, other than how to secure 2027. Nothing. Not thinking of anything. It's not that they cannot, it's not that they don't have people with ideas. There are people there with ideas. Even if they don't have, don't they read what some of us push out in terms of writing, in terms of discussions? Even to pick from there. But they are not concerned. Their concern is as regards 2027. You can imagine the son of a president. Where has he gotten that money from? To be feeding people in the north. Where has he gotten that money from? All the money I've been spending. And then be moving around with retinue of convoy. On whose account? Flying around in a presidential jet. Is that how it's supposed to be?
No.
These are issues. These are issues that we are putting together. And I can assure you, that 27 is looking at. It is the presidency against the people.
Exactly.
Let's see what happens.
All right, Barrister Ezra, let me come back to you. All right, Barrister. Peter Obi, we're back to Peter Obi again. He has met with the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, at his office in Abuja. You know, the visit is coming amidst ongoing consultation towards forming a political coalition ahead of the 2027 presidential election. The meeting comes barely 24 hours after Obi met with former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau at his Asokoro residence in Abuja. So both Shekarau and Malami are among the list of opposition political heavyweights being linked to the proposed coalition, which includes former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, ex-Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and former Rivers State Governor Rotimi Amici, amongst others. The coalition talks follows the outcome of the 2023 presidential election, where Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress emerged winner with 8.8 million votes. But Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, Barrister Ezra, has come out to tell us that the president is so sad about the fact that there is no vibrant opposition. He said the president doesn't like the fact that there is no opposition. It's not making his administration, it's not making him feel that, yes, his administration has something to possibly brag about. And that the president is really worried. That's what Godswill Akpabio came out to tell us. He said the president is sad, not seeing a vibrant opposition, and that the opposition should try to be vibrant. You know, the president doesn't have to be the one to help them be vibrant. He said he's not happy about the disarray within the opposition. The Social Democratic Party, where El-Rufai belongs to, they already having issues of who will be the secretary, who will be the leader. This one is saying they want to depose him. Another person is saying an SDP that he just joined, they haven't even decided to formulate a structure and it's already imploding. So how do we know that this supposed coalition would not have that kind of traces of going into disarray or extinct before it even picks up?
Well, I think the sad thing is that you have to be quoting a person like Godswill Akpabio, a man who a few days back was seen singing childish songs in praise of Bola Tinubu. These are why we are where we are. When characters of such nature find themselves in very high political office. A man who not too long ago was accused by Senator Natasha, for sexual harassment, insane crimes. Such a man would have resigned and even at least awaiting his investigation. But he's still there loafing about. I mean, the danger of our politics is that on a prime time station like yours, you have to begin to quote comments, childish comments made by this character because
the reason why this character is coming up, Barrister Eze, is the fact that the coalition is just picking up, and you already have political parties that intend to be part of this coalition already having a discombobulation within them. They are disintegrating when they haven't kicked off. All right. Now, the presidency is obviously, through this statement made by Akpabio, distancing themselves from whatever disarray is ongoing within that particular political party. And that's trying to make the administration feel like we are not the ones causing the conflict in the opposition. We really need a vibrant opposition. But, Barrister Eze, what I thought you would pick on are these elements in this opposition. AGF, Abubakar Malami. Seriously, how come all of a sudden he's against the government of the day? He's disputing the government of the day. He's not in tandem with the government of the day. This man was the former Attorney General of the Federation under Muhammadu Buhari, the one who sanctioned the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu. Why would there be a coalition talk with Peter Obi and this man? I'm not judging, but I'm just saying, if we're looking for clean leadership, something honest and different, why this set of people?
No, look, now listen. See, when you need to get it, at times you have all kinds of persons forming the coalition to remove evil.
Okay.
And then if you understand the Nigerian political structure, a lot of power revolves around the office of the president.
Okay.
So whatever happens, whoever in the coalition, when the president is on board, you have to shape in or you shape out or you ship out. So that is how it works. So the reality for now is get the numbers, get the people who have the strength to push the candidate that will be coming out from this coalition through. And then we hope, Nigerians will hope that the right person gets to become president, and then thereafter things can take shape. If you recollect, somebody like El-Rufai was very much with Bola Tinubu when he was campaigning, it was all over the mean. And then suddenly, because Bola Tinubu didn't like him, he pushed him out of the system because he became president. So don't be bothered about the people who are coming together or coalescing to ensure that we don't suffer this hardship Nigerians are going through in the past 2 years again. Let them succeed first, and then for the president the Senate president will come out and blab that they don't have any hands in the crisis in the coalition party. We know it's a lie. I mean, we know that Wike is doing what he's doing in the PDP because he has the backing of the presidency. We also know that the fellow at Labour Party, they are compromised fellows who are doing the bidding of the presidency. So,
okay.
But then, one thing I assure Nigerians is when they think they are so wise, when they think they are so smart, that is when their fall is near. And the history is replete with samples of such characters. If you recollect, Ibrahim Babangida was called Maradona. He was seemingly dribbling everybody until he dribbled himself. The PDP after 1994 was thinking they would stay in office for the next 60 years until they lost the next election. So let these characters in the APC keep on deceiving themselves, keep on fooling themselves, that they can keep on fooling Nigerians all the time. But it's not going to work. Nigerians have learned that under no circumstances must this crop of characters who have set us back, who have blighted Nigeria, who have dehumanized Nigerians, diminished our prospects, degraded our quality in the international community, under no circumstances must they be allowed to continue in office. And Nigerians will do their very best to ensure it doesn't work.
All right, Barrister Eze, thank you so much. Dr.
Kade? Let me react a little bit to that.
Please do.
About the lack of opposition.
Yes.
See, this is now to tell you what this government, which was formerly in opposition, understands as opposition. Opposition is beyond using thugs,
Okay.
using all these garage boys as thugs. Opposition is beyond unnecessary riots or demonstration on the road. Opposition is beyond that. Opposition is beyond bringing in terrorists and thereabout to come and fight the government in power. Opposition is beyond unnecessary propaganda that are not there to fight the government in power. Rather, opposition has to do with constructive criticism and giving solutions, which I will give you an example. Look at what Pat Utomi was about doing.
Yes, the
Talking
shadow
about
government.
parallel government, alternative government. Is that not opposition?
That is. And that was even what the APC actually wanted to do in 2015.
The moment they perceived the vibrancy in what Party Tomi was about to do, you could see that they started shouting.
No, they didn't shout. They called the DSS. The DSS sued him to court.
Wait now. They know they will not be able to withstand it. Coming up with alternative policies. For instance, our naira that is falling all of the time. It has simple solution. Safeguarding of the currency, like other countries. Because I don't know what they are producing in Cotonou that is making their own currency to have more value than ours, or Ghana, or Togo, to make their currency more valuable than ours. So now that they are seeing real opposition away from the way that they practice their own, you can see the way they have been running up and down, like Bala Blue and all that. And they have not seen nothing. They have not seen nothing as regards systemic and conceptual opposition. Because that's what they will be seeing in few months to come. What we are seeing in Peter Obi, in Atiku, in El-Rufai, in Rotimi Ameki, in
Oh, Dr. Kaide, can you hear me? Oh, wow. Okay, I will connect with you soon. Barrister Eze Eluche, let me just be with you finally so that I can take calls. Barrister Eze Eluche, in your submission, I need you to give me a submission. Some people did not join us on time to hear about what you said concerning the case of Peter Obi coming out to raise the alarm about the demolished property. So can you just summarize that particular essence, what you said in describing the situation and his reaction to it? Possibly he overreacted, or, you know, some certain things would have actually been done before calling the press or calling the attention of the press.
Well, what I said is those who demolished the place claim they came via a court order. So what Mr. Peter Obi should have done was to verify, let his lawyers verify the genuineness of the court order, that it was procured through due process, and because I understand that case has been on for over 10 years. So he rushed. He was a bit too hasty.
Okay.
In getting involved in making that press statement, and the property does not technically belong to his brother. The property, even from his own comments, belongs to a company. Yes, the brother may be the majority shareholder, but it belongs to a company. So he should have allowed his lawyers to do due diligence, and then at the appropriate time make comments. Because whatever Mr. Peter Obi says now is taken very highly, is weighted, is rated highly, and people believe that all those such comments come from properly researched background. So I hope that subsequent to this, Mr. Peter B will be more cautious and ensure that he makes comments based on proper legal advice. And then if indeed that house was demolished without due process, with via a very fraudulent court order, he wouldn't lose. The land is not going anywhere, and whoever did that process will have a whole lot to pay in terms of damages. So he should have been more careful in making public statements, because everybody regards his statements very highly, and he may fan various passions.
Okay.
So
Barrister, another thing to get clarity on is the fact that this supposed building in dispute that is already been demolished, the outcry is the fact that the building was demolished without a court order. So somebody went and demolished the building without a court order, meaning that his lawyer wasn't served, and whoever was the unknown person got the court judgment for it to be demolished. But this particular property has been under contention. It's not just that somebody went to court, got some papers, carried an excavator and went to demolish. That particular property has been under contention for quite a while, isn't it?
Yes. So if the court grants you possession, if the court grants you possession, the court does not need to give you an order to demolish.
Okay.
Because if the court says you own the property, you have possession, you can do whatsoever you want with a house you have possession. But the issue is that order of possession, was it lawfully obtained? Was the service properly done? And if those things are properly done, then it's a legal issue. You can either go on appeal and try to counter it, and not just come to the media and begin to cry wolf. Okay. Like I said, there may not have been a specific order to demolish, but if the court grants an entity possession of a property, you can do what you can come on the social media or whatever, or the media space, and make the complaints he is making.
All right, Barrister Ezeluche, thank you so much. I would keep you on call because I know a couple of persons will want to actually ask you questions. So thank you so much. But then you know that it's not just in Lagos. Wike too has gone through this kind of rash process as well in Abuja, where they just demolish properties, they just get court orders overnight.
You will think twice before going ahead to demolish any structure. But you have rascal elements who have never earned money. All they have been doing from virtually when they left the youth service or whatever is to just pack money and steal and loot. Then they can just walk in and demolish somebody's sweat. I know if you or me who's worked for some time and you know what it takes to earn money, you won't go and demolish anybody's property. At the very worst, you can take over possession of it, use it, deploy it as a health center or as a library or as whatever for public use, and not demolish. The demolition madness must be removed from our side. There's no way.
I support Dr. Dyer. What is the primary job of a country army? Number one, securing life, securing border, fighting invaders, and defending the territory. Their job, other people are doing now. You know what they do. You are saying there is no violent opposition. What happened to Okowa last April? If you not see AGF, they take to Ahua. After they do Ahua, they enter APC. Say that with nonsense. Since I have said it all. In conclusion, let me tell you something. P2B,
sorry, sir. Sorry, Koboko. Sorry. 08036929933. 08036929933. That's the number.
Peter Obi is an ex-governor of a state that has ruled for 8 years. So everything about what is coming from the government end of issues, I think he should know everything about it. When the order is genuine and not, even if he may not have done it that way. And his brother also, I don't think if there is a dispute that has lingered on that land within the period of the 10 years when the brother has been using the land, I don't think the brother will keep it away from his own ex-governor brother. Everything, as if he's a ground level, a gutter digger without any knowledge waiting for one lawyer that is somewhere to come and talk to him. Even if he's not a lawyer, he's been a governor for 8 years, surrounded by lawyers, judges, and whosoever, legal luminaries. So he should have been in the know, of what is going on. I think he reacted properly. He doesn't have to. In fact, another analyst in the morning said he shouldn't have kept quiet. He should have invited the police, called the put the things around, and stop those people from what they are to do. But unfortunately,
so he is saying that at the initial outcry that he should probably understood the context. Probably he shouldn't have been the one, maybe the lawyer or even the brother himself, rather than him himself, because of the kind of authority he holds. So, but thank you very much.
I think it's proper. In my opinion, I think it's proper.
All right, thank you very much for calling.
He's just advising because he's a legal practitioner. That's okay.
Thank you. 08036929933. That's the number to call. 08036929933. It doesn't excuse the fact that political opponents or the administration of the day could actually want to frustrate anyone who is not in consonance with them through means like this, but it is proper for things to be in context. That's the general conversation. Hello, sir. Or hello, ma. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Please, what's your name?
My name is Flora.
Flora, welcome, ma. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. The question I want to ask is that Mr. Tunde, is Mr. Darlington his problem? Anytime he calls, instead of him to talk what is on the ground, he will be saying Mr. Darlington, Mr. Darlington. He talks as if he's a god. He should.
Madam Flora. Wow. We've gotten disconnected. 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, this is Mr. Ben calling from Dokwemu.
All right, Mr. Ben, please go ahead.
Yeah, I greet the guest there.
Thank you very much.
And please help me say my greet to Mr. Darlington, Mr. Darlington.
Don't worry, you will see him tomorrow. He will be coming here tomorrow.
Okay, my sister, I don't have much to say. All I have to say for them to release Mr. Mazina de Carlo to me. Whatever they are saying, whether Mr. P to be march as the president or not, all I want for them to release Mazina de Carlo. And if Mr. Tulumbu releases to me, I will vote for Tulumbu in 2020. Do that. Yes. If you do that, I will vote for him. Even me and my wife and some of my friends. Yes, I will vote for him.
So, you're a politician, no? You're a politician.
You want to use that bicycle as if there is no tomorrow. Maybe 10 naira. So they're using Nigeria as a hired bicycle. And this thing will be around if it's not taken.
All right, thank you.
If the state is doing the 7 and the change we are looking is not there, well, I don't know where Nigeria will be. That's the truth.
Thank you so much. I think what Nigerians are actually finding a little bit silly.
Tony.
Oh, Tony. Tony, good evening. How are you?
Yes. I'm fine, my sister.
Welcome.
Please, I just want to ask the barrister. From what P2B was saying, there was a lawyer who said it's an SAN.
Yes.
That told us that even that land has CFO.
Mm-hmm.
When I listened to the barrister, he never mentioned that aspect. The overriding power of attorney over land in Nigeria is CFO. How come that the barrister did not even mention that there was a lawyer there that talked about CFO? And all of us are aware that these things keep happening in Lagos, where they will go and can go court sitting and issue an order. If that man did not speak out, we will not be talking about this we are talking about. If Tutoni did not speak, he would have gone under the where others were going, under the stream or under the bridge. So whatever is happening in this part of Nigeria, especially in Lagos State, people sometimes will get court judgment and they will be put from their house where even they paid a rent that has not expired. It's a serious issue. I do not know whether other people have experienced, because I've seen it. I've not experienced it per se as a person, but I have seen people experience it where they got judgment that they know nothing about. overnight people are there to pack them out and dislodge them.
Okay.
And he said, how that this one has a C of O in somebody's name. It's unfortunate.
Thank you very much for calling. Thank you. So, when that demolition happened, a lot of Nigerians were of the note that maybe this just happened. Okay, it was later, information came to light that this land has been under contention for almost 10 years. This dispute has been ongoing between Peter Obi's brother, who is not necessarily like the owner per se, more like he's a shareholder, a major shareholder of that property, okay? That they have been going through this for quite a while. So that's basically another information that came to light. But then, why demolish a property when the case has not yet been done with in court, in agreement with both parties? That's where this is coming from. Why now? Why after 10 years this matter has been on and then you decided to demolish now by an unknown person? No dispute. The court did not even ask questions as to if the person had been served. So, like the lawyer mentioned, some of these lawyers do things. They paste stuff on the building, snap it, send it to the judge in court that this person has been served but has refused to obey the notice, and so they get a demolition order immediately, which obviously could be a political whim by certain elements. So it's quite complex, but like Peter Obi said, the case is in court, so they will go to court. If this person demolished without getting all the prior approval, the person will pay the money. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Esther. So happy to hear your voice today.
Thank you very much. What's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is John, and I'm calling you from Ogun State.
Wow, John, welcome. Please go ahead.
Yeah, a certain man said something about Nigeria. And what he said was that Somalia is going to be better than Nigeria. And the way the APC government is leading Nigeria, I think they are actually leading us to the way of Somalia being better than Nigeria. For Peter Obi, he knows what to do. For Nigerians, we all knows what to do in 2027, I mean. So thank you very much. I am a first-time caller.
Hey, welcome. Oh, the bell is far from me. Congrats. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
You're
and my
welcome.
greetings to your colleagues over there.
Thank you very much. Thank you for calling. All right. 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. 080-3692-9933. The WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. I'm currently streaming on Instagram as well at Estanwaz. Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. My name is Nodin from Mushi.
Tunde from Mushi.
No, Nodin.
Hello?
Nodin.
Nuruddin.
Hello, my name is, yeah.
Nuruddin.
I want to react on, I want to react on what Akpabio says.
All right, please go ahead.
Akpabio is let's say this president government, they are evil jealous. They don't care about the woman's life. So what I believe that before 27, their government will collapse as a pharaoh in Egypt. That's what I believe. Because they can't lead us like this. And we are tired of this government. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Esther Wachuku.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
This is Paul from Egbeda.
Paul from Egbeda. Good evening.
Esther.
Sir?
One more time, I want to challenge you. Are you the spokesperson of APC? Because the way you rationalize with their words to make other people look stupid as if they don't know what they're doing.
Mr. Paul, can you go to the subject matter, please? Are you calling me to chastise me or what? What do you mean? I'm presenting both angles. So what do you mean by speaking for APC? Please go to the subject matter.
Yeah, let me remind the barrister that when Peter Obi was governor of Anambra State, there was a law that was passed that any kidnapper, because it was rampant in Anambra State at that time.
Yes.
The House passed it into law that anyone caught as a kidnapper, the house will be destroyed and the government will take over the property. Maybe the barrister have forgotten or he knew nothing about it. So it's not as if that Governor Obi rushed to pull down or destroy people's houses. It was never. It was a law that was promulgated and it was assented. So he did what was right. And immediately he started doing that, kidnapping reduced in Anambra State. And what the Senate president said.
Day. That's 1 and 2. Day. That's 1 and 2. Number 3, as a presenter, you present both sides. Number 3, as a presenter, you present both sides to issues and not be partisan. There is no APC person here to defend the government of the. There is no APC person here to defend the government of the day. So I will try to present issues from their own angle as to what they said. Issues from their own angle as to what they said. That's my job. It is now left for you to decide on how you want to interpret what was evening. How are you?
Esther.
Yes. Good evening. Who is this, please?
Hello.
What's your name, sir? Hello, sir.
Yeah, Joe from Bariga.
Joe, welcome. How are you? And he will. You have started again. Where is Barrister? You have started again. Where is Barrister Darlington in this conversation now, Yomi? Why are you calling out Darlington in this conversation now, Yomi? Why are you calling out Barrister Darlington? Focus on Barrister Darlington. Focus on the conversation we had today. Good evening, Esther. Please give me the conversation we had today. Good evening, Esther. Please give me collation party that will stand APC for people who are honestly waiting for it. Father, stand APC for people who are honestly waiting for it. Father Ajibodu from Alagbado. Don't worry. Ajibodu from Alagbado. Don't worry. They are coming. They've not yet said anything yet. It's not yet concrete. They are coming. They've not yet said anything yet. It's not yet concrete. But they said they are coming. Great. But they said they are coming. All right. Good evening. All right. Good evening. As regards your two guests, it looks like Mr. Tunde can better analyze. Mr. Tunde. Hence, I think you should bring him to the studio like you did. With Peter Monser to face Darlington in the studio to analyze the news. For us, people should be directed by you to speak on issues on the news, or wait for their targets to be in the studio before they fire unnecessary salvos. Yes, thank you very much for that. That is fire unnecessary salvos. Yes, thank you very much for that. That is very true. Esther, good evening. We pray this humiliation will stop. Amen. You didn't tell us stop. Amen. You didn't tell us your name. The lawyer that spoke about Obi's brother property is right. They intentionally demolished the property because of Obi for reasons known by them. From Prince Parkview. Good evening, Esther and the guests. Please, unscrupulous Agbadorian elements. God. Good evening, Esther. God. Good evening, Esther. All of you now. I know how to change cover. All right. Good evening, Esther. Nigerian to change cover. All right. Good evening, Esther. Nigerian DSS military police are complicit in the recent Benue State massacre by the Fulani terrorists leaving from Lagos. Please tell you guys that Nigeria is a lawless country and he should not blame Peter Obi. Coalition must succeed whether Godswill Akpabio likes it or not. All right. Good evening, Esther. Regarding Peter Obi's house, the government should explain why the property was demolished. Shegun from Alagbado. Chidi from Oshodi. When the Bible referred to certain locations as the dark places of the earth being full of habitation of cruelty from Mushin, what is happening to the people of Benue, Plateau, Enugu, and Taraba State is called terror, and the acts is called terrorism. Any group of people or persons responsible for terror, they're called terrorists. That's true. Good evening, VOP. Esther, to be honest with you, the military has turned this country into a business with bandits. Esther, if a company...
The only investment that is transgenerational. So that is why we are presenting all our property locations to everyone today, so that you can think about the one, or you can start, or you can get one of our property from our different location. So here in Lagos, we have in Ikorodu, and is located in Agbowa. And the name of the estate is called Kudos City. Kudos City in Agbowa, Ikorodu is currently selling for 1.5 million naira per plot. The measurement is 500 square meters. So we also have in Omuketu Ekpe. Now in Ekpe, we have Kudos Heritage. Kudos Heritage is currently selling for 1.5 million naira because we are currently running our instant allocation promo. So you can get Kudos Heritage for 1.5 million naira instead of 2.5 million naira. We also have Kudos Heights in Omuketu Ekpe, and Kudos Heights is selling for 4.5 million naira per plot. Kudos Heights is also located in Omuketu Ekpe. So you can have any of these our estates. Now the number to call is 0905 naira instead of 5 million naira. Now here in Lagos again, we go for inspection every Thursdays and Saturday, and in Delta State we go for inspection every day excluding on Sundays. Now our office address here in Lagos is located at number 171 Egbeda Idimu Road, Abule Udu bus stop.
All right, you're not responding. 08036929933. All right, 08036929933. Hello, good evening. How are you? I told you when you call, turn down your volume. It's very important. Let me take some SMSs. So good evening, Esther. Many times, all the stories has come to our village and drop letter that what they will do is that they will go to field near school where children are playing ball. They will even put the letter inside envelope, then drop it on the ground. Even give time that they are going to come if we call police. All they will tell us is that they will inform army, but at the end, no security will come, and the terrorists will come exactly the time they put in that letter. Texting you right now from Northeast. Good night. Wow. You see, most times there's intelligence report. They don't just act on the intelligence report. Good evening, VOP. Thank you to the special people in the house today. Since I discovered this station, I have stopped watching Z World. At least I'm getting educated every.
People should just know the truth so that the truth can set us all free.
All right.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. This government is not doing anything as regards security. And there's no also doubt about it. They have been found wanting in sorting out security issues. And why? Because they have been pinned down to be a connivance in what is happening to us in this country.
All right.